Hello, everybody. This is Sleepless Illustrator coming at you with another episode this week. And if in case you haven't read the title yet, this week we're going to be drawing Psylocke. So I hope you guys enjoy that. I want two notes. One, I hope you guys check out my other short because I did already draw Psylocke. Just to let you know that I've already drawn her as a short. So I hope you guys go check that out. I really did a really good job on that. Oh, excuse me. And on the second note, this week I'm going to be using this the ink tool as a where's my oh crap, hold on guys. There it is. I'm going to, instead of using the pencil, I'm going to be using, because normally guys, most comic book artists use more of a blue graphite pencil. I'm not sure it's graphite. It's more like a waxy kind of graphite, something like that. I forgot what I had this pencil a long time ago, and it's supposed to leave less residue, so to speak. So like, let's say you guys, when you're erasing, you draw your comic books, right? And then you try to erase as much as you can when you outline and ink and all that. It's supposed to not show up when you photocopy it. That's always been like the spiel of it, so to speak. So, and I'm gonna switch them for purple for Psylocke because she's purple. But normally you use blue, a light blue. Note of that. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna start drawing Psylocke. If you guys aren't familiar with one of the X-Men, she's kind of I guess she's a villain slash hero sometimes, and I'm gonna start with a curvature of her body. So this, I'm gonna start with her head. Let's get her head in. Yeah, I'm gonna start drawing that, and then so most guys, when most comic book artists, when they're drawing, they usually start with some kind of curvature of a line in their bodies, because when you're drawing comic books, guys, you want the pose to be as dynamic as possible, and it's the way to make your characters not look as stiff. So just draw like an apprentices, you know, guys, like apprentices, like what I just did, and kind of go from there and follow the body from that. Everything should follow that model. So I'm gonna draw her thighs. You're gonna get a real lesson in anatomy, guys. So if you hear breasts, thighs, we're not talking about chicken, okay? So take this seriously, guys, because I've told this story before, guys. When I first took life drawing, when I was my first day in college, actually, and I walked into the class. Of course, I was late. You know, I'm always late. Um, and yeah, I walked in. I was the class already started, and I walked in. There was this butt naked dude just standing there posing for all artists. But it's serious, guys. Let me tell you, and I cannot stress this enough, you guys. If you want to get better drawing poses, I'm gonna draw with her hand behind, kind of behind her butt a little. Yes, I can say butt. We're gonna say penis. We're gonna see breasts, guys. So these are very technical terms. We're gonna get her breasts in, her chest. I didn't really bother drawing the rib cage, guys. Sorry about that. Kind of I'm really in a hurry and drawing the rib cage. Hold on, I'm gonna fix her body. It needs to be. There we go. But yeah. So if you want to really get better at figure drawing, it really does help to take a life drawing class, guys, because not only does it teach you how, anatomy and how the body looks and stuff like that, but hold on, it teaches you placement of objects, so to speak, because the thing is, see, the model is not just posing with the person. Usually some models will have poles, a drape they'll drape over so you can get some clothes, stuff like that, and turning the head and how your foot, how the feet, because you'll see with this pose, guys, you'll see I'm gonna draw one foot forward and one back, kind of a standing, so the figure has balance. So anyway, because all comic books, guys, all comic book superheroes and are what do they call female superheroes? Heroines, I think, something like that. But yeah, are women of the women of the world. Anyway, I'm not very good. The women of the Marvel, of the superheroes. Sorry, I'm losing my thought. But yeah, basically those kinds of gals are how should I say? Oh, what was I lost my train of thought. What I was saying is that those are heroes. They need to be on balance, is what I was trying to get at. So here I'm trying to draw. I'm gonna draw her kind of like standing on a rooftop, just for whatever reason. So you got her pelvic region, and then I got her thigh here. Kind of connected, like you got to think of it, everything in 3D, guys. 3D, because I'm drawing 2D, but I'm trying to imagine how this figure looks. That's why everything has a shape to it. It doesn't look so flat. So I'm gonna draw a little. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, it's good. Let's just keep going. But yeah, if you guys aren't familiar with this character, Psylocke, I guess she's kind of like my friend tells me she kind of has like similar like kinetic energy, something like that. I know she's like an assassin. She has a sword, uses that, and then what else? And she has kinetic energy, like her purple powers and stuff like that. It's kind of cool. So let's get her arm in. But remember, women have long, slender arms. Keep them graceful. And like I said, guys, look, I want to stress this enough that. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. I said lunch a little while ago. When I draw women or men, there are certain, let's say, distinctions that are, I want to say finite. What's the word finite? Actually, I should say more infinite, but still, the point is that, like when you're drawing women, to really capture. See, the thing is, guys, you have to understand the difference between men and women. You know, and I will say this is anatomy. I'm not. This ain't political or that crap. Don't get that crap out of here, guys. If that's what you want, your oh, I'm gonna draw her hair. What I'm saying is that like women have despite even if you're drawing a woman bodybuilder, guys. I mean, I like unless you're drawing very imaginatory. Like if you're drawing like a woman as the Hulk, right? But then again, don't you think? I mean, She-Hulk has always been a thinner body than Bruce Banner, which, I've always found that, like, it's funny when, in bigger people, it's kind of messed up that Bruce is, like, bigger and bulkier while She-Hulk is, like, pretty much like a woman-sized body, but anyway, that's a discussion for later, for next time. But the point is that, yeah, even though She-Hulk or any of these characters who are supposed to be big, gigantic brutes, you still kind of stick with the same anatomy. So, you guys, what I'm trying to get at is that, when you can master anatomy, when you can draw men and women, the basic anatomy, I should say, you can draw anything. All you do is stretch it a little. So like, if you have a character that's supposed to be a big brute, you just make that woman just slightly bigger. But then again, you'll have male brutes, to kind of compare it to. So, because even then, even comic books, guys, they all have stats. Wolverine has a height, a certain height thing, because it's something you have to take into account. Because if you're drawing mostly women and they're just normal women, maybe with superpowers, most likely they're going to have, the difference in the body is going to be the same thing, unless their power is like, certain, like if, she's a shrinking woman or a giant woman, whatever. Let me get her belt in. So, but anyway, let's get back to the subject at hand. There's just something, a mental note, guys, about anatomy, that there are differences that people will notice. And trust me, if you guys think that people wouldn't say, it's okay, it's just a comic book, yeah, so what if this woman's taller than this guy? It's just the way I draw. I mean, I'm only just, like I said, guys, you draw however you want. There's no right or wrong answers, but I'm just saying, like, it just makes for better. Like put it this way, guys, if you're watching a movie, right? Don't you want to have the best special effects you can have? The best, you want everything to look real as possible. You don't want, the director doesn't say, you know what, this dinosaur doesn't look as realistic. I can't even see the scales on it, but it's fine. It's the way I prefer my dinosaurs in my movie. So, I mean, it's up to you. I prefer, I'm more of a detailed, kind of guy. Details. Yeah, it's coming out pretty good. Just basic, I'll fix that shoulder later. It's kind of bugging me. You get the arms. I'll put some details in later. Yeah, little strains in the arms, because there's always lines in the arms, guys. So she's got a little glove here that kind of latex, and I'm gonna turn this down. And when I ink, guys, you'll see I'm gonna do a lot more inking on the clothes rather than the legs, and I'll explain that in a minute, because most clothes, guys, have shadows on them, if you notice, and I'll get to that in a minute as soon as I get to it. Let's see. In the face, I'm just working on the face a little, making sure that's good to go. Make sure she has a nice womanly chin, little pointy chin, but not too broad, remember, superheroes have manly chins, so women have thinner, daintier chins. Let me get her lips in, and lips are, I've said this before, guys. Let's give her, I don't know. Let's see how, I don't want to make her smile too much, because Looks like she's about to go in the heat of battle. Let's just give her like a little round lips. Kind of like just nothing. Maybe a little banana lips. Little banana lips are okay. Now let's give her a cute button nose. Yeah, don't make noses too big on the women. And then the eyes, always keep the eyeshadow. Makes the woman look more feminine, you know. So that's what I'm saying. You guys stick with feminine features, you know. And make sure you stick with the eyes, guys. Remember, no eyes. Don't do this, guys. Don't do a little, you know, when you're doing the eyes, you know, keep it, you know, eyes should be touching. Yeah, don't do that, guys. See that? Little eye has to fill, the whole eyeball has to fill up the whole lid from top to bottom. Unless you're doing a like a reaction. If she's like looking at something in shock, you know, you do a wider eye, something like that. So, but we're just kind of getting, because I don't really have a reference for her face, guys. I'm just using a picture just more for the costume, but just testing my skills if I can draw female women. Let's get little strands of hair. Remember, guys, just, you know, keep it thick. No strands. I'm only drawing the direction of the hair. So let me see. Yeah, it's coming out pretty good, actually. I'm surprised. It looks pretty good. Let's see. What do I do? What do I do? Yeah, I'm just kind of. This might be a long one, guys. I think it's gonna be a long video, but bear with me. You know, it's funny. Let me actually do. You know, that just leading me into my next lesson, guys. Because let me tell you something. I hope you guys understand, like, what I'm trying to stress to this channel is to do things and like I said, it comes back to what I said. I mean, you learn what I'm teaching you, but also take it and use it how you think it would be versed. You know, I mean, and what I mean by that is because a lot of times, you know, you guys get criticism, and oh wait, yeah, I'm gonna try some, guys. Hold on a second. Because of the hair. I want to see. But what I'm saying, guys, is that today's lesson of the week is to, like I said, be yourselves. But more importantly, because I'm not trying to tell you, I'm only trying to teach you techniques, and what you do with those techniques is up to you. And I stress that because, like I said, you know, I get criticism from some of my videos being too long in the beginning, and I try to shorten them, you know. And you know, maybe my videos are going to be an hour long. I mean, I watch videos all the time. People say, "Oh, you know, no one's going to watch an hour-long video." Guys, I watch hour-long videos every single day. Mostly podcasts, but there's some guys I watch a lot of, like, content, like men's content, you know, things like that. You know, when I'm not doing this, I'm interested about the world and education and things like that. So, you know, and yeah, I'm often, or I'll watch a cooking video, something like that, like those. But yeah, I like to watch a lot, you know, stuff like that. And but anyway, but the point is that, you know, I'm kind of going back to do my own thing here. So, and I think you guys should do the same thing. Let's get the arm drawn here. And you know, if you want to make an hour-long video, trust me, guys, there's always an audience. Don't let anyone tell you that something won't work, because you just don't know. You're only getting their perspective, and that's the problem nowadays, guys. Because, like, I offer people advice and stuff like that, but what they do with it, I don't tell them what to do. And that's kind of how, even like what my dad has always been trying. And I know I mention my dad all the time because my dad's kind of a bit of a philosopher. So, and what he's trying to teach me with anything. And I told you guys, my dad's a businessman. So, you know, business ideas, they go hand in hand with everything in life. You know, it's like when he watches the markets. I don't mean to get off track, but when my dad talks about the markets, you know, like people panicking and things like that, you know, it's all a mind game, guys. It's all, you know, how can you stay strong? Can you stay, you know, that's all it is. The markets, you know, are just a reflection of people, you know, either they panic or they do this or that, and then they end up making bad choices. So don't panic. Just because someone tells you your video is too long or this isn't drawn right away, don't panic and freak out, because then you're going to change something that maybe have been good. You don't know that. So, but like I said, I got like I'm doing more shorts, so that worked out, because I'm getting lots of views. And oh, thank you guys. I forgot to shout out to all you guys who are I made 101 well, last week we got to 100 subscribers. I posted on my Instagram, so thank you all. I love you. Yeah, we made 100 subscribers, dude, guys. I mean, you know, think about it. You know, now let's just try for 200. And you know, you see what I'm saying, guys? You got to celebrate the little stuff. If you get, you know, it's 100 subscribers now, then it's 200, then it's 400, then it's 1,000, then it's 5,000. You know, and that's all it ever takes. You know, so I think the shorts have been helping. It's been helping me, you know, get out there. So thank you all. Anybody who comments and however little comments, I try to respond to, you know, as many as I can. Of course, I only get a few comments, but you know, we're a small channel here. But you know what? It only takes one thing to put you on top, guys. So anyway, let's draw the legs here. She got her little straps, and go back to the arm here. I'm gonna draw these little straps. She's got these straps on her arms. Yeah, don't do, and I was to say, don't do that. Like guys, I was trying to show you, see how those straight lines, don't do that. Always get the curvature of the body. So like, this is what I'm trying to stress about anatomy, guys, that when it comes to anatomy and clothes, see, that's why the life drawing classes, they have, you know, drapes, and sometimes they'll wear clothes, and you can get an idea. So see what I'm doing here with the glove, guys, how the glove is kind of wrapped in around, it's kind of curving a little because her wrists are turning and from the angle. So even clothes follow the curvature of your body. So like you guys are seeing it, and I know you guys have struggled because I've struggled, you know, and I've almost mastered it. But the art of drawing clothes and creases in your clothes. So you guys know, you know, when you bend your elbow, you're wearing a jacket or sleeves, and they get all curly and stuff like that. It's just basically wrapping around the body. So you just got to get a feel for it and kind of know. Some of the creases are kind of the same. If you notice, like I kind of draw them the same, but you know, still. And yeah, so it's just something you know, like I said, with the life drawing classes will help you. You know, because it's something I can't help you guys because it just depends, and it does become like eventually, you know, like if someone's wearing a T-shirt, you kind of have a In fact, this goes back to what I'm saying, that if you have a structure of how to draw something, you kind of use that to your knowledge. No, that's not the right word. You use it to your, not your advantage, but you use it to how should I say? So like let's say you're drawing a character and you're not really sure how this is going. You could just kind of guess a little, but it still make it look real as possible. Like I'm gonna hold on, guys. I just got a new idea. Let me fix the hair a little bit. I want to see if I can have it flowing. I'm using a reference and her hair is just kind of like down, but I'm gonna. Let me get her shoulder in. I think I made the shoulder too big. That's better. Are you guys excited to see this character again? I mean, I'm hopefully they'll get her back in. Just played by Olivia Munn in the, and apparently this character was in X-Men. I literally just found this out yesterday because I was doing research on this character, and apparently the Psylocke was in X-Men 3. It was the purple hair chick. I mean, and this goes another criticism I had. One reason why I wasn't as big on X-Men, although I did, because like I said, you know, the problem with those movies, guys, is X-Men movies, just a side note, they always made it about, you know, I understand it was about Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart and Jean and all that, but the problem is X-Men has so many of these characters, and they just sideline a lot of, even like main, because Psylocke is a main character, well, not main, but like a lot of these, you know, like even Nightcrawler. And I'm telling you guys, the only reason why Nightcrawler was he wasn't even that fleshed out. If you watch the second movie, he only was because he was part of the story. If you guys don't know, because he was the one who attacked the president, they needed him, a character who can get in the White House. So he became, you know, the subject of the story, and that was it. And then we never saw him, not in the third movie, not nothing, you know. So, and then they just take characters like they took Ryan Reynolds and slapped a red shirt on him and called him Deadpool in Origins. And no wonder the movie, you know, I still like Wolverine Origins on some things, but they ruined Deadpool. It's some good parts, but still, it's when they sideline cool characters. Like same thing with Psylocke. They took a girl. It didn't even matter if she was an unknown. They could have got an unknown girl. I think the girl was kind of cute, but still, like they sidelined her character. All she did was she just showed off her camouflage techniques, and that's all we saw. And then they just gave her purple hair and then called her Psylocke. So anyway, that's just more of a movie creative comment. So let's get her arms in. I'll come back to the hair in a minute, guys. I have an idea for flowing hair. I'll show you guys. Let's see what time we're at. Okay. Sorry guys, this is gonna be a long video. It's probably gonna be like a half hour or so. See the hands. Try to keep the hands a little dainty, a little thinner. Womanly hands. Even though she's a superhero, guys, she still has womanly features. So, and these are distinct things that can make or break your drawing. Like I said, unless you like to draw a certain way, then that's fine. But I'm only giving you a few techniques that I think are pretty handy for me. At least you want to draw accurately. I think most of you guys want to draw accurately. I'm not saying like guys are not being pains in the butts about it, but you know what I'm saying. It's just like the things. I don't want anybody listening to get the wrong idea that am I telling you what to do or telling you how to? No. I'm just giving you some good techniques. Just techniques. That's it. Get her chest in. I'm gonna be drawing some shapes and some shadows on her. And like go back to what I was saying about clothes, guys, because clothes here, like I see if you notice, like I'm drawing like certain, even in clothes. Let's see how I'm gonna get the hair in. The hair is kind of curling. And well, let's get back to the body because it's important to get certain features of the human body through the clothes. So I got a little rib cage down here, just oh, let me go save, guys. I know, Snow White. Sorry, guys. But, it's a good Snow White. I didn't draw it from the new movie, but I thought it might add a positive spin on the movie less. Oh, what the hell? Oh, let me, let's see. Let's call it, D1. There we go. And we're saved. And then, yeah, guys, I'm going to do, most of the shadows are going to be on her costume rather than her skin. And I'll get to that in a minute. Got her belt in. She has like a little leotard. I would call it a leotard or something like that, but like kind of like a more like a women's bathing suit. I like that look. It's classy. It doesn't make her look too expressive. It covers up the good parts, but still looks good as a costume. Let's see. I'm just kind of stand on a brick wall or something like that. I always add some little details, guys. I always add a little bit of a background. Yeah, I always do something like this to just add like a little distance in the background to show like there's something behind her. And then that's why if I ever draw full figures like this, guys, you see that I draw like a little, that's something, maybe a pond or some water. Depends on the character, just kind of standing in like next to a river. Oh, sorry, guys. I don't like the way this arm came out. I'm going to fix this. The arm's way too big. That's better. No, I don't like the way that came out. Let me fix this. Fix that. Oh. That's better. A little bit. Let me. Like I said, the bands wrap around the arms. Don't draw straight lines because they're, just show curvature of her body. Arms are not straight. Flesh is never that simple. Let's see, check the hand. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to be drawing a lot of shadows here. Let's just start with some little. Because remember, guys, skin like this doesn't have a whole lot of shadows unless you're in the dark or in something like something's you gotta remember materials. Skin isn't reflective, but most materials are. Cars. I mentioned this. Cars are always a great. Whenever you're drawing cars, guys. Even still today, the colors are reflected. See how I'm getting the shape of her body with these. You see her rib cage and some abs, and underneath her breasts and stuff like that. That all have shadows underneath. Because her breasts are just orbs. Basically. But yeah, just to, in her clavicle here, on her neck, on the neck muscles, I always try to, get a little shadow underneath her neck. Remember shadows on the hair, I'll get to that in a minute, and then on her clavicle and her neckline. So, creates a shape here. So, we'll just use that, in there. And there we go, a little on the armband. So, we have little shadows. Here, find the little thighs here. And most of the shadows gonna be down on her leg here on her costume. So probably has most of the shadows here. Just cause, like I said, because like think of it this way, especially white skin. You gotta remember that white skin does like let's say she's standing outside in the night. You'll probably have street lights, so her skin is reflecting off that, because her white skin. But her costume is probably not picking it up as much. So with a dark material like this. Maybe a little, but still, you can kind of get away with it. But in this case, like I would add some kind of shade or lighting to it when I color it. So, but for the most part, these shadows, because remember guys, when we're drawing, when I'm inking this, and I gotta stress this, 'cause I don't think I've stressed this enough, that when I'm inking, this is not color. Like, we do the shadows because it's part of the art when it comes to comic books, because it's distinguished. But remember guys, this is not, we don't use black as a color. In fact, my art teacher used to teach me this, that when I first started watercolor painting, he taught me how to use complementary colors. Like, if you mix a blue and an orange, you get kind of a muddy black, almost black, but not quite there. In fact, I even have colors here that sometimes I've actually mistakenly used the wrong color. So like, let's say, you know, when I've been switching colors back and forth, guys, sometimes when I move I'll show you the little needle to black on the color scale, it's not exactly on the black. So maybe a slightly little bit of gray. You can tell the difference. If I were to do a close up, like sometimes I've done that mistake and I just kind of like, there's a few videos I have done that, and I just pray to God no one notices. But yeah, it's not pure black, you know. Right now I'm using pure black, and it's only for shadows and outlines. You know, that's what we use it for, because it helps pop out. Because you remember, guys, this is a comic book. Everything's supposed to pop out. That's, if you ever wonder why we use this, it's because, well, actually, back then it's because newsprint was cheap. You know, back then ink and newsprint was cheap, and it was easy to draw, and you know, so that's basically it, guys. And then it just kind of became the tradition. You know, comics and cartoons were printed in newspapers. I mean, that's just how it started. So, little history lesson. But, and then that tradition is just, you know, it never died. You know, now we print them on nice paper and, you know, waxy and really good looking stuff. And yeah. But the point is that when you're drawing, remember guys, you have to distinguish the white from the black. You have to keep the white of the paper when you need it, and then do not rely on black, because otherwise it'll blend it. And it depends, and that's why we try to distinguish. Even like if you're drawing characters that are black, like Black Widow's suit is all black, or Venom, we try to add. Let me get her hair in. We try to do different colors, maybe because in fact, Black Widow is a good example of that, because you know her black suit is all black, but then if you notice, they add a little shade and lighting to it. So yeah, I like a little nice flowing hair coming up her back. Just kind of gives it a little bit of a personality. Remember, guys, anything you can give your character personality, a headband, a hair, you know, a flowing cape, you know, whatever. So anyway, get a little more cross hatching action. I got to put that on a t-shirt, guys. You get her glove. You know, she's just kind of holding her butt a little. Let's see. Get some more on the knuckles here. A little cross hatching action coming at you. If you guys can say that in the comment section, a little cross hatching action, you will win a prize. Like, oh man, I'm like shoulder. Hey, dude, I'm sucking today with anatomy. I know I'm trying to teach you. Well, problem is, guys, the pose. The thing is, I will like to emphasize, guys, that these you know, the longer you work on these drawings, the better. And I only have so much time to make things look good for you guys. So I want to emphasize that don't sweat. You know, if something doesn't look good, guys, all of it is time, knowledge, and effort, really, but mostly time. You know, because you can look at all the references and still, because I'm looking at 2 references right now using this. So, and it's still, like I said, it's just all about time. You know, time to straighten things out. And unfortunately, I only have, you know, so much time to do it. So, but we're almost done. We're getting there. So, gonna fill in some blacks, and I think we'll about do it. See, get some more on the leg here, because like most of the shadows be coming more from the leg, because her legs are closer to the ground there. So, get in her crotchal area, the crotchal region. But see, even her costume, guys, I'm trying to get a little more shadow in there. Because even then, guys, you got to think of her as an object. She's standing there, right? And if there's lighting behind her, it's gonna shine on the back of her, and then create a cast shadow on her chest, on her front side here. So that's kind of where I'm at. So I'm just guessing. Like I said, it's nothing, but it's something you have to think about lighting and casting shadows. Let's say on our lips. There's some dark lips. Pretty good. Eyeshadow, make her look really good. Gotta look good when she's kicking butt. Fix up her hair a little. You don't like my hair. We're almost done, guys. I commend you guys, any of you guys who watch these videos all the way through. You are all awesome. Excuse me. But if I can inspire one person, that's all I really care about. Not why we do. We don't do it for the fame and fortune, guys. We do it because we love. This is what we love, you know. Let me tell you some guys. I'll keep doing these videos, hour-long videos, 10-minute videos, or whatever, till the day I die. I promise you that. I love doing these. I love making these videos. I love making it, these shorts. You know, I really like that. I'm going to be putting another one out this week. And I hope you guys check out me and Darkkin streaming. I put the links in the description. We're going to be playing Repo on Mondays. So I hope you guys check that out on his channel. It's in the links in the description. So, but at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Yeah, come check us out. We're just a couple of guys. We got a full group. So anyway, there we go. Nah, I'm not gonna use that. I've been using this signature for a while, so you guys like this one better. So, and there we go, guys. So check out our stream. I hope you guys like that. And hold on, let me fix it. And yeah, there's our Psylocke, guys. What do you think? Anyway, guys, I appreciate you checking out my stream. Oh, not my stream. I'm sorry, not my stream. I appreciate you guys checking out my videos. And yeah, like and subscribe and share the video. I appreciate it. And yeah, I hope you guys check out our stream at every Monday. We're going to be doing that. And yeah, guys, remember, continue to be yourselves, guys. That's important on this channel. So anyway, guys, I'm going to get out of here. So I hope you guys have a good day. So anyway, see you later, guys. Later, Gators.